Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Yasser Gulfraz and I'm your tutor for Advanced Business Research Methods, which is uh, our first session of Business Research Methods, and we will discuss learning outcome one, be able to develop research approaches and in a business and economics context. Anybody can hear me and anybody can see my screen if anyone is there. Please do let me know if you have any issue, uh, if you can't hear me or if you can't see my screen. So today we'll explore into the advanced business research methods. Research plays a very important role in the field of business and uh, business economics and any other subjects. So as it helps us make informed decisions, understand market trends, and identify opportunities for growth. In this lecture, we will discuss how to develop research approaches within a business and economics context. So unfeasible objectives can hinder progress and demotivate individuals or teams. By understanding their nature and forms and implementing strategies such as realistic goal setting, effective planning, calibration, and continuous evaluation, we can overcome the problem of unfeasible objectives. Just remember that it is very essential to adaptable and proactive in addressing challenges to ensure success. Why is this important? You suggest the research area that you want to pursue, not the tutors, although the tutor will help guide your choice. So, first of all, let's understand why research objectives are important. Your research objectives serve as a roadmap of your study, guiding you towards your desired outcomes. They provide a clear direction and purpose to your research, helping you stay focused and on track. So let's talk about some reason why setting unfeasible objectives can be problematic. So when your objectives are unrealistic or too broad, you may find it challenging to gather the necessary data, conduct experiments, or analyze results within the given time and resource constraints. To avoid the unfeasible objectives problem, I would like to share a few insight with you. So firstly, it is essential to define your research area. Choose a topic that generally interests you and aligns with your expertise. This will ensure your motivation and commitment to the research. While your tutor can guide and support you in choosing the research area, remember that the ultimate decisions rests with you. Any questions so far? If anybody can hear me or if anyone is there? Okay. Furthermore, consider the available resources and constraints when setting your objectives. Take into account factors such as access to data, equipment, funding, and support from supervisors. Lastly, maintain a proactive approach to your research objectives. Regularly review and reassess them as you progress. It is natural for objectives to evolve and refine over time as you gain new insights and learn from your finding. Next is 3 traps for the unwary. M-level researchers have to guard against 3 potential problems that will delay their research. Trap 1, the trap of narcissus, where the researcher produce a title but cannot deliver anything substantive. Next is second one is trap of Hercules, where the researchers proposes a study that is far too big. And last one is trap of Cerberus. The proposed research is so sensitive that no collaborating organization can be found. All deny access. So first of all, the trap of Narcissus. A common mistake is to start by thinking of a title for your research. This is often compounded by phrasing it to make it sound good rather than by starting with the objectives. This leads to the narcissism trap. So don't be like Narcissus. So Narcissus was what is Narcissus and who is in Greek methodology? Narcissus was a hunter who was punished for his pride. So Narcissus basically, if you read his history or check, if you go through Google or search, you will see that Narcissus was a young man known for his extraordinary beauty and arrogance. So he believed he was superior to everyone around him and treated others with contempt. One day he came across a clear pool of water and was captivated by his own reflection. Mesmerized by his own beauty, he became obsessed with his image and couldn't tear himself away. So imagine for a moment being so infatuated with yourself that you are unable to look away from your own reflection. So Narcissus fell victim to his own vanity, spending hours gazing at his image, neglecting his basic needs and isolating himself from the world around him. His self-obsession consumed him to the point that he wasted away and died. Narcissus tragedy reminds us of the importance of humanity. True beauty lies not only in our physical appearance, but also in our character and how we treat others. Arrogance and disregard for others feeling can lead to loneliness and a shallow existence. Trap of Narcissus, you imagine a title that stimulates your senses, a title that you imagine is so impressive that you fall in love with it. To conduct fruitful research or meaningful research, we need a solid foundation of knowledge and a well thought out plan. Research is a journey that requires perseverance. That's required perseverance. That requires hard work and the willingness to explore deep into a subject. It is through diligent exploration and analysis that we can uncover valuable insights and make a genuine impact. Instead of getting trapped by the allure of a title, let us focus on the essence of our research. So, we need to we need to deep understanding of our chosen subject and to conduct rigorous and thorough investigations. It is though through this dedication and genuine pursuit of knowledge that we can make a lasting impression on our peers and those who hold positions of influence. So let us be mindful of the trap of narcissus, where we become infatuated with the surface level appeal and neglect the substance beneath. So let us remember that true impact and recognition come from the hard work, dedication, and profound insight we uncover through our research. Trap of narcissus. Let's begin to understand how research objectives should ideally be grounded in reality and focused. The primary purpose of any research project is to contribute to the existing knowledge in a particular field, addressing a specific problem or questions. When researchers fall into the trap of narcissism, their objectives become more about personal recognition and validation than genuine scientific inquiry. It is important to understand that research is a process of learning and discovery, not a means to feed our egos. The pursuit of knowledge should always take precedence over personal recognition. Embracing this mindset allows us to make the most of our time, utilizing it effectively to conduct meaningful research and contribute to our respective field. Example of narcissist trap. Examples of title that cannot be delivered include the influence of Islamic banking on world financial institutions, small and medium enterprises as a catalyst for economic development, competitive advantage in the fast food outlets of the People's Republic of China. So example one is influence of Islamic banking on world financial institutions. This title suggests as comprehensive analysis of how Islamic banking impact global financial institutions. When examining the content, we find a lack of impartial evidence and in-depth research on the subject. The author may have fallen into the narcissist trap by choosing an attention-grabbing title without processing the necessary resources or knowledge to provide a thorough examination. So as a result, the reader is left disappointed and misled. Example two, small and medium enterprises as a catalyst for economic development. In this case, the title implies an exploration of how small and medium enterprises contribute to economic growth. However, the content of the work fails to provide substantial evidence, case studies, or a critical analysis of the topic. It is important for researchers to ensure that their work aligns with the title they choose, as misleading readers with a promising title that lacks substance is a common pitfall. Then is example three, which is competitive advantages in the fast food outlets of the People's Republic of China. This title suggests the examination of the competitive advantage held by fast food establishments in China. Yet the actual content fails to deliver any concrete analysis of research. It is essential for authors to avoid falling onto the narcissist trap by selecting titles that accurately reflect the depth of their research and findings. Any question so far, if anyone is there? Okay. So next is question, why are these titles inappropriate? Answer, because the students who suggest them cannot deliver a study of sufficient depth at master level. The scope of the suggest research is too long. Uh, the scope of the suggested research is typically too large. Master level studies requires a focused and in-depth exploration of a specific research question or topic. Titles like The Trap of Narcissus tend to encompass a wide range of concepts and ideas, making it challenging to provide a comprehensive analysis within the limited time frame and resources available. To effectively conduct a master level study, it is essential to narrow down the research question and clearly define the boundaries of the investigation. This allows for a more detailed and rigorous exploration of the chosen topic, leading to meaningful finding and conclusions. Additionally, these titles often lack specifically and clarity. A successful research study requires a well-defined research question that can be uh, addressed through appropriate methods and analysis. Titles such as The Trap of Narcissus are often open to interpretation, making it difficult to establish a clear research focus and methodology. Any questions so far? How to avoid the trap of Narcissus? Uh, in the context of academic research, narcissism refers to the tendency or to over overestimate our abilities and take on projects that are too large or ambitious to handle effectively. This often results in subpar outcomes and unnecessary stress. As you embark on your research journey, it is important to be mindful of the potential pitfalls of taking on too much. Uh, Here, let's consider an example related to investigating fast food in China. China is a very vast country with a diverse fast food sector that varies from province to province. The sheer magnitude of the task can be overwhelming, leading to compromised research effort. To avoid falling into the trap of narcissism, it is important to assess your capabilities realistically. Ask yourself the following question: what can I deliver to a very high standard? By narrowing down the scope of your study, you can focus your efforts and ensure a more comprehensive and rigorous investigation. Instead of attempting to cover the entire fast food sector in China, you could consider narrowing your focus to a specific province or a particular aspect of the industry, such as consumer performances, consumer preferences, or the impact of fast food on public health. This targeted approach allows for a deeper exploration of the chosen area and increase the likelihood of producing valuable insights. Trap of Hercules. Even students who start correctly by thinking about the objectives rather than the title of their research may experience problem gaining sufficient focus. Difficult research objectives in the second trap for the unwary. In this scenario, students concentrate on their objectives rather than the title, but cannot gain sufficient focus. Uh, One of the key mistakes students make is not having clear and concise research objectives. Instead of having a well-defined focus, their objectives become diffuse and scattered. Imagine a target that is spread out in multiple directions, making it difficult to hit the bullseye. This is precisely the situation many students find themselves in. So you might wonder why this happened. Well, in this scenario, students do concentrate on their objectives, which is a positive step. However, they struggle to narrow down their focus and end up with objectives that are too broad or lack specifically. As a result, their research becomes unfocused and they have a hard time achieving the depth and clear clarity necessary for a successful study. Trap of Hercules. In Hercules was a figure from Greek and Roman mythology, uh, renowned for his strength and endurance. Failure to sharply define a few precisely phrased objectives may lead you towards the trap of Hercules trying to do too much. The trap of Hercules occurs when we fail to define our objectives clearly and precisely, when we lack focus and spread ourselves too thin, we become overwhelmed and lose sight of what truly matters. We may find ourselves juggling multiple tasks but unable to make significant progress in any of them. So, how do we avoid falling into this trap? The key is to set a few well defined and precisely phrased objectives. Instead of trying to do everything at once, we need to prioritize and focus on what is most important to us. By narrowing our focus, we can allocate our time and energy more effectively. The trap of Hercules occurs when students encounter two situations. A, include too many objectives in their research proposal, or B, although they include a few objectives, each objective has a number of sub-themes which would require investigation. Uh, First one is this can happen when students try to cover a wide range of topics or aspects when their research making their proposal overly ambitious. The result is becoming challenging to focus and execute the research effectively. On the other hand, the second situation, labeled as option B, involves students who include only a few objectives in their research proposal. However, within each of these objectives, there are numerous sub-themes that requires further investigations. In other words, each objectives branches out into multiple smaller area of study. While it may seem like a detailed and comprehensive approach, it can lead to a lack of focus and overwhelm the researcher. Uh, C, including too many academic areas within their proposals. D, include comparative research in their objectives. Uh, third trap, which is including too many academic areas within proposals. Imagine you are a researcher who has come up with an exciting idea for a study. You are passionate about your topic and eager to explore it from multiple angles. However, it is important to remember that a research proposal should have a clear and specific focus. Including too many academic areas can lead to a lack of coherence and dilute the impact of your study. To avoid this trap, it is important to define the scope of your research clearly, identify the main objectives and research questions you want to address, and ensure that all elements of your proposal align with them. By maintaining a narrow focus, you can explore deeper into your chosen area and provide more valuable insights. Uh, the fourth trap, which involves including comparative research in your objectives. Comparative research refers to studies that aims to compare different variables or phenomena across different contexts or populations. While comparative research can be insightful, it can also be challenging to execute effectively, especially within the constraints of a research proposal. There is no set number of objectives, so there might only be one objective. Though this is very rare, students are not required to submit a long list of objectives like the one on the next slide. Importance of setting clear objectives and why having too many objectives can be counterproductive. Throughout this lecture, we will engage in direct interaction and use simple words to ensure a better understanding of the topic. So here, let's talk about when it comes to setting objectives. There is no fixed number. In fact, it is quite rare to have just one objective. However, it is essential to avoid falling into the trap of having too many objectives. This is because having numerous objectives can lead to confusion, loss of focus, and ultimately hinder your progress. Imagine you are Hercules, the mighty Greek hero known for his incredible strength. Hercules was assigned 12 seemingly impossible tasks known as the labors of Hercules. Each labor was challenging and required his undivided attention. So now let's suppose Hercules had taken on additional objectives, say 20 or even 50. It would have been overwhelming and practically impossible for him to accomplish them all effectively. So similarly, as students, you may often find yourselves facing multiple tasks, assignments, and goals to achieve. It is natural to feel compelled to set numerous objectives, hoping to accomplish everything at once. However, doing so can be detrimental to your learning journey. Instead of overwhelming yourself with an extensive list of objectives, it is advisable to focus on a select few that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. By narrowing down your objectives to a manageable number, you can better allocate your time, energy, and resource towards achieving them effectively. Having a clear set of objectives enables you to prioritize and maintain a sense of directions. It helps you stay focused on what truly matters and avoid getting lost in a sea of tasks. By dedicating your efforts to a limited numbers of objectives, you can allocate your time and energy more efficiently, leading to better results. Example, too many objectives uh, or investigate investors' opinions of anti-fraud measures in place at the bank. This is objective one, investigating investor opinions on anti-fraud measures. We want to understand your thoughts on the anti-fraud measures currently in place at our bank. This investigation aims to gather your opinions, concerns, and suggestions regarding the effectiveness of these measures. Second one is consulting investors. So consulting investors on the impact of anti-fraud measures on customer services. We are also eager to consult you regarding the impact of our anti-fraud measures on consumer services. We want to ensure that these measures do not hinder or negatively affect the level of service we provide to our valued customers. Your insights will be invaluable in striking the right balance. Objective 3, gathering investors' proposals for improved customer services. Your opinion matters greatly to us, and we want to hear your proposals for enhancing customer services. This consultations will provide an opportunity for you to share your ideas, suggestions, and recommendations to help us further improve the overall customer experiences. Next one is addressing investment process issues. We acknowledge that there have been concerns surrounding our investment process. Our objective is to address these issues head-on, ensuring transparency and efficiency in our operations. We value your feedback and welcome and suggestions you may have to overcome these challenges. Any questions so far? If anyone is there. Okay, so example, too many sub-themes. Let's begin by considering the opinions of our investors regarding the anti-fraud measures currently in place at our bank. We value your input and would like to hear your thoughts on how effective these measures are in combating fraudulent activities. Additionally, we would like to consult you on how these measures impact customer services. We want to strike a balance between ensuring security and providing excellent service to our customers. Moving on, it's important to acknowledge and address any problems that may exist within our investment process. We understand that efficient investment process are vital for our investors. Therefore, we would like to hear your proposals for improving customer services in this area. Your insights and suggestions will play an important role in enhancing our investment process and meeting your needs as investors. Finally, we will talk about our main objectives: improving customer services, customer satisfaction, and growing the number of customers at our bank. We are committed to providing outstanding service to our customers, and their satisfaction is our top priority. We believe that by incorporating your feedback and implementing your suggestions, we can create a more customer centric approach. So ultimately, this will help us attract more customers expand our strengths, positions, and strengthen uh, our position in the market. Example, too many academic areas. Here we'll talk about the measures taken by our bank of combat fraud. It is important for us to know your thoughts on these measures. Do you believe they are effective? How have they affected your overall experience as customers? Your feedback will help us evaluate and improve our anti-fraud strategies. Moving on, we also need to address the issues that may exist in our investment process. As investor, your perspective on these matters is invaluable. I would like to hear your proposals for enhancing customer services in relation to our investment procedures. By sharing your ideas, we can work together towards improving the overall experience for all shareholders involved. Additionally, I want to emphasize the importance of customer services in our bank. Our primary goal is to enhance customer satisfaction and attract more customers. To achieve this, we need to identify areas for improvement. Your input on how we can enhance our customer services efforts will be greatly appreciated. Any questions so far? Anyone, if anyone is there? Okay. So why is this a problem? In chapter 2 of your research, requires you to critically review relevant areas of the literature, for example, relevant to the objectives. Master's students are expected to construct a conceptual framework from the theoretical areas discussed. How will you demonstrate critical conceptual mastery of the 8 areas in read on the previous slide in the limited space available? So in chapter 2, you are required to critically review relevant areas of the literature and construct a conceptual framework based on the discussed theoretical areas. However, there seems to be a problem. How can you demonstrate critical and conceptual mastery of the 8 areas highlighted on the previous slide, given the limited space available? So let's explore into these issues further. First one, it is important to understand why this is a problem. When conducting research, it is important to review the existing literature to gain a comprehensive understanding of the topic at hand. This helps you identify the existing gaps and build upon that knowledge that already exists. However, as master students, you are expected to go beyond mere summarization of the literature. The challenge arises when you have limited space to showcase your mastery. This might be due to the constraints of a research paper, thesis, or any other written document. However, friend, note there are always to overcome this problem and effectively demonstrate your critical and conceptual mastery. One approach is to focus on the most significant aspects of each area, identify the key theories, concepts of finding that are highly relevant to your research objectives. By doing so, you can prioritize the information that is most important to understanding your conceptual framework. Another strategy is to adopt a comparative approach instead of individually discussing each area in detail. You can compare the contrast them, highlight the similarities and differences among the different areas, and explain how they contribute to your overall conceptual framework. Example, comparative research. Comparative research is method used to examine similarities and differences between different entities, such as countries, organizations, or individuals. It allows us to gain insight into various phenomena and understand how they vary across different contexts. Uh, so we need to be mindful of the scope of our comparisons and the potential pitfall that may arise. Any questions so far? So, example, comparative research to investigate investors' uh, opinions of anti-fraud measures in place at 3 banks and consult them over the impact of anti-fraud measures on customer services at these banks. Here, we will discuss by examining the investor perspectives on anti-fraud measures in place at the 3 banks. As investors, it is important to have confidence in the security and integrity of our investments. The banks have implemented anti-fraud measures to safeguard our interests, such as robust and, authentication process, real-time fraud detection systems, and regular security audits. Uh, it is essential to understand your opinions on these measures and their effectiveness. Next, shift our focus on the impact of anti-fraud measures on customer services. While these measures aim to protect our investments, they should not hinder our banking experience or compromise customer service. It is vital for the banks to strike a balance between robust security measures and seamless customer services. Moreover, motivating staff plays a significant role in delivering exceptional customer services. The banks should ensure that their employees are motivated, well-trained, and have a customer-centered approach. This would not only enhance the customer experience, but also contribute to a positive work environment for the bank staff. Any questions so far? How to avoid Hercules trap? Don't write long list of things you want to research. Focus on a very few areas. Means limited your research. Discuss this with your tutors and your mentors. Remember, Hercules was gifted with great strength, but if you overload the bar, you will not be able to lift it. So basically, by focusing on a few key areas, we can give our full attention and effort to each topic, leading to more meaningful and comprehensive research outcomes. Trap of Cerberus. In Greek methodology, Hades was the god of the underworld, a realm where spirit of the dead would aside, and who better to guard the entrance to this airy realm than Cerberus himself. This fearsome creature ensured that only the spirit of the departed could enter the realm of Hades, but no one could uh, escape and no living creature could enter. So imagine a dog with not one, not two, but three heads. As Cerberus was truly a sight to behold. Each of his head had short teeth and fiery eyes that struck fear into the hearts of anyone who dared approach. So to make things even more daunting, they had slitching snake tail, adding an extra touch of terror. Uh, Cerber was not only easily fooled or defeated, many tales tell us of brave individuals attempting to pass by the focus breasts. They used various strategies and skills, but few were successful. It seems that Cerberus was unbelievable. So here are some key points. Trap of Cerberus. It is important to recognize that certain research projects may rely on collecting data from specific organizations. Uh, this could involve studying their internal process, analyzing their strategies, or exploring their performance metrics. To undertake such research, you must establish a connection with the organizations and negotiate access to their uh, data. So you can not and should not conduct impartial research into an organization without their previous acknowledgement and permissions. So, conducting impartial research without prior acknowledgement and permission from an organization is not only unethical, but can also lead to legal consequences, basically. So, respect for privacy, intellectual property, and the rights of organizations should always guide your research practices. Trap of Cerberus can be thought of a beautifully constructed research objectives that requires an organizations to collaborate with you and or allow you access to it, and yet they refuse you access and will not collaborate in your research. Example of Cerberus trap. uh, to analyze the advantage and disadvantage of outsourcing the human resource department in retail environment, critically evaluate retail employees' perceptions of the advantages and disadvantages. So think if you were in the retail industry and had outsource your HR functions, would you let researchers enter to investigate the above? Cerberus trap source of competitive advantages are clearly guarded. Uh, in the in the business, companies often process certain sources of competitive advantages that set them apart from their rivals. These advantages may include proprietary uh, technologies, exclusive partnership, unique distributions network, or even a highly talented workforce. So these sources of profitability and advantages are like hidden treasures that companies guard very closely. Reflections. you will have some time to suggest your research objectives. You should be thinking about how you can clarify them. You might need to think how you can narrow them. You need to think how about which organizations, if an organization is required, might help you with the dissertation. So basically, how can we clarify our research objectives? First step, to consider the broad topic of interest and break it down into smaller manageable components. For example, if your topic is climate change, you might narrow it down to the impact of climate change on coastal uh, ecosystems. Narrow down all your objectives also helps you avoid getting overwhelmed by the vastness of a topic. By focusing on a specific aspects, you can explore deeper and explore them in greater details. So when selecting an organizations, consider their alignment with your research objectives and their relevant to your field of study. Look for institutions or entities that have experience or ongoing projects related to your research topics. Yeah, that's it for today. I hope today's lecture has given you a solid understanding of how to develop research approaches in the context of business and economics or any other subjects. Also remember, research is an invaluable tools for informed decision making and driving business success. That's it for today. If you have any question, if anyone is there. Okay, so if you have any question, please drop me an email at yasir@ukversity.co.uk. And thank you for your attention. And I look forward to our next lecture, which is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thanks and have a good day. Bye for now.